I'm Tanya Caruso, and I'm a reading teacher at Avon Elementary. I feel like the teachers are working really hard, and I think our students are they're going to do okay this year, but next year, when we have less support for them, I think we're going to suffer. So right now, I think we're getting it. We're doing pretty well. We did Saturday school. We were able to do extended year this last summer. But this year, we'll only be able to do 3 weeks of extended year instead of 5. So that's going to probably make an impact. And we're going to have less support systems in place. So they won't get as much help. So Title I is when a school has a certain amount of free and reduced lunch, then we get some federal money to help with reading intervention for that school. So I can work with any kids who need help with reading. Our enrollment declined a little bit, but also we've had to cut out the amount of support. So there used to be 2 Title I teachers, 2 full-time, and now we have me and then equivalent of about a half-time person for Title I, and I believe next year it's going to be just about 1.
How has that impacted the students who get those services?
Right now there's one person that works with the 3rd through 5th for only a couple hours a week, and so that's all 3 grades, and that's all she can work with. And then we have one person who works with 2nd grade a couple hours a week for both 50 kids. And then now I can only work with kindergarten and 1st. That's the only amount of time I have. We already anticipate bigger class sizes, so when there's bigger class sizes, teachers won't be able to work individually with students as much, and even if they have small groups, there's going to be more groups to work with, and those groups won't be able to meet as often with the teacher. So we're definitely seeing that's going to happen. We're probably going to combine some classes, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes not, but it's pretty challenging to have 2 different grades and curriculum, but I think that's the only way we're going to keep sizes less than 30, and that's kind of our goal, is to keep class sizes below 30. And when you have 85% free and reduced lunch and 90% second language learners in a school, it's kind of sad to know that they're going to have these big class sizes. We strive for the highest achievement in this school, and we've seen so much growth in the last couple of years, and it worries me that having these bigger class sizes might make, and less support system might negatively affect the achievement of the kids. Well, it takes more time in the classroom, more individual work with those students to catch them up. A lot of them are behind academically and in English, so it takes more time and effort to get them to advance more than a year's growth in a year. So we try to get them in reading to make 1.5 to 2 years growth in 1 year, but it takes a lot of effort, like a lot more extra time reading. And so if they're not getting that extra time, I don't think they'll catch up. That's the worry. So besides Title I, I can't, just to make things work in our school, I've had to do some release time. So I have a math class that I teach too, and that takes away from reading with other kids. But that's just the way our school works, and I don't know how it's going to be next year, if I'm going to have to do that, or if that can go to somebody else, but I don't know. 2 classes ago, I only had 3 copies of this paper that they were supposed to read, so I didn't have enough to go around. And that's something that happens with materials. We're not able to replace many things. And this year we do a lot of guided reading, and we have a book room that has multiple copies of books. And if we're going to have so many books that we're going to have to replace, but I don't think we're going to be able to replace them. Just because things get lost when you use them so much, and we send them home every night, send books home every night, things get lost. So we're either going to have to stop sending books home, or we won't be able to replace the books. I do have a classroom budget, and I've gotten some help with the PTA, but I don't know about next year. Like this year I knew how much it was, and it was okay. It was a little less than last year, but yeah, next year I have no idea if we'll have classroom budgets, or if it's going to be $100. That's not enough for the whole year. And so yeah, the rest of this year though, I don't think I have any money left, so I'll have to pay it out of my pocket. Well, I'm part of the negotiations team for the school district, and we had to cut $6.5 million from our budget, and our budget is not that big. That was almost 20% of our budget. So we used that as our guidelines for cutting, and I think the hardest part was knowing that we're gonna have to adjust all the buildings for staffing and it's gonna hurt. You know, we're not making humongous cuts, but we did cuts last year, and we're still doing more. So last year we were worried about the numbers, and this year it's even going to be worse. So like my principal had to cut 3 last year, and now she's looking at maybe 3 more. She cannot figure out where to do that. At our school next year I think our librarian is leaving, and our technology teacher is leaving, and they will not be replaced with certified teachers. So that's a shock to me that at least with technology, that we wouldn't have a certified teacher teaching that. So now the teachers are going to have to teach those, like take the kids, and it used to be a time that it was a specials. We could drop them off, and that was plan time. But next year, we will have to be the teachers for that. So that's something that is new, and so it's going to be more work for the same amount of pay, like so much more work. So I think everybody's going to feel that. So anxiety with that, and we haven't gotten pay raises for the last couple years, and we're a pay-for-performance district, and so that's kind of interesting, the attitude that follows that. You know, pay for performance. Well, how do you get pay for performance if you don't get a raise? We value teachers who are very effective in their classrooms and who teach exceptionally, and so we do have a value for that, and I think it's been working. I think we have excellent teachers in general. We're not takers. We're just trying to make some type of equitable pay, and our days are very long and very exhausting, and we have we're demanded, and we're like, without teachers, we're the reason why there's success in the country. It's teachers, so I don't think that we should be considered the evil ones.